Hi there, this is Miranda and I'm going to be making Boeuf Bourguignon. Alright, so let's try to make this Julia Child style Boeuf Bourguignon. And so what I did first is I got my bacon and I cut off the rind and I just used salt pork instead of regular bacon. And I boiled that or simmered it for about 20 minutes. On the right, you can click on the website where I found the recipe, and it actually has the ingredients and a step-by-step guide. Let's see if it's done. Ooh, I do believe it's done. So, once you take that out, you're going to dry it, and then you're going to put your olive oil into a large pan. Now you're going to put the lardons into the pan. Hear that sizzle. Now I actually saw the movie Julie and Julia and it actually made me want to make this. Okay, so now the lardons are done. They're brown and they're crispy, so you're going to take those out and drain them. Alright, now in the same fat and olive oil, you're going to go and put in your beef. And you don't want to do a lot at a time because you want them to brown, and the more you put in there, the lower the temperature. So, I had to do it a few steps. Alright, and then we just take those out. And watch out for splashies, because it actually splashed me quite a few times. And if you notice, it splashed everywhere! All over the kitchen. All over the floor. So, after we cleaned up, put a little medication on my arm, then I brought in Bobblehead Jesus so he could bless my cooking. You're going to put in your onions. And you're also going to put in your carrots. I used baby carrots just because I'm lazy. So once those are cooked, you're going to add your lardons and your beef. We're going to stir that all around, and then we're going to spice it up with some salt. I used kosher salt and also some pepper. See, no splashies now that Bobblehead Jesus is there. Go get yourself a Bobblehead Jesus. Now, to thicken it, when we add the liquids, we are adding flour. Once you add that flour, we're actually going to put that inside the oven for 4 minutes. Take that out and put it back in for another 4 minutes. And voila, it's done. If you could only smell it. Alright, next we're going to add the red wine. It calls for about 2 to 3 cups. I used a hearty burgundy. You can use a Bordeaux, a burgundy. And I also used beef stock. Just to cover it up enough. You don't want it too full. Then you add your garlic, your bay leaf, and your thyme. Next, you add your tablespoon of tomato paste and stir it all around to make sure that that tomato paste in there gets all mixed up with everything. And now we simmer it, boil it, and then after we put it back in the oven for another 2 hours. So now let's move on to the braised onions. You put your olive oil and your butter in the pan. Make sure it's all sizzling, and then you take your pearl onions and you lightly brown them. Keep them moving so they brown evenly. After that, you're going to add your beef stock, some salt, some pepper, your bay leaf, and thyme. Then you're going to cover it up and let it cook about, we'll say about 45 minutes. So while that was cooking, in another pan, you add your olive oil and your butter. And now we're going to saute the mushrooms. That's me trying to be all chefy. I am not a chef, but at that moment I kind of felt like one. Alright, so 2.5 hours have passed. You take that out. Ooh, look at it. Yum. So now we strain. And make sure you pour it away from yourself. I burnt myself again. Alright. So, you're gonna stick the sauce in another pan. Yes, we use lots of pans for this. And as I took the meat out, as it calls to separate the meat from the onions and the carrots, I realized, hey, I like onions and carrots. I'm gonna leave it in. So I washed the pan, put everything back in. Now you put the onions, the mushrooms, and you stir it all together. Almost done. Pour the sauce over it, and I cooked it for about another 20 minutes, and since I didn't have that much sauce, I put a little bit more beef stock in. And you can season it to your liking. I actually preferred a little bit more salt and pepper. And there you have it. Boeuf Bourguignon, Julia Child style. Bon appetit!